Welcome back to more Farming with Family. We're going to be doing a few upgrades to the 4560. Well, we had put in some new parts on the cab kit, or a whole new cab kit, but there's a few seals from the company I got them from that have them made aftermarket, and sometimes they don't fit just right, so that company actually just sent me the actual John Deere OEM kind. So we'll get that put on. And then I have an auto steer system that is a Easy Guide 500, and with an easy steer. And there's a motor that actually has a knob that turns the steering wheel. Well, my steering wheel is too smooth, so the knob slips on it. So I got like a steering wheel cover that'll just give it a little bit more roughness and texture, so it'll turn better. So we're going to get those installed. And then we're going to go try a little bit of disking this afternoon and see if the door seals work like they're supposed to, keep out the dust, and if the steering wheel will do auto steer properly. So we'll go try that this afternoon. Alright, so we're going to try the steering wheel cover that I got. So it's just kind of made for the right size. I measured the steering wheel and how wide it was. So let me just get it. Get it lined up, and it kind of stretches around and holds on. Get it centered. Looks like it should be just about right. It doesn't touch, so you have some room for the seams to hold it tight. So then this is my, let me show you. This is my easy steer. So when I want this to steer, I pull this button right here, and then it puts pressure on here, and this knob spins and turns the steering wheel that's connected to my monitor, my GPS, and that tells it how much to go one way or the other to keep following a straight line. So before, this would spin and my steering wheel wouldn't go, but now I can see like there's quite a bit of resistance if I want to turn against it. So it should do the trick, I think. Got the steering wheel cover put on a lot of stitches later, but it went on good. It actually kind of feels more like a car steering wheel. But now when I put this on, if I hold this and try to turn the steering wheel, it takes quite a bit of force. So I think it's gonna work good. The stitching turned out well. Just a cheap little thing I got off Amazon, and it should work good. Now I gotta replace this door. Let's see, this door seal and this door seal. So we'll get those new ones put on. Got my right hand man with me now. Should we go do a little disking? The first field work of the year? Alright, let's go do it.
Daddy, is this the place where there is a pond?
Not this place. Well, no, there is a wet spot. We'll go see if there's anything to see around there. So we made it out to the field. We're gonna give it a try. I'm gonna get my GPS all set up. So I'll start moving. I gotta get my A line set up, or my A point set up. So I'll hit select to start my A point. Oh, hold on. It has to find my GPS signal first. Sometimes that takes a little bit, so we'll just wait on that. Hit that branch? I don't think it will. Should we see? Alright, we're good. Alright, our GPS signal came up, so we'll start moving. Just gonna put the driver cells going straight. I'm gonna hit OK. So I gotta drive about 160 feet to get a B point. And I'm not doing any certain, location. I just wanted to do a straight line to see if it'll actually make the steering wheel work like it's supposed to. So in a little while, this will change to B, and I'll hit OK once that comes up. There we go. So there's B. I hit OK. Then I'm gonna put my steering down, so that's on there. And then I'll hit auto steer and see how it does.
Aren't you gonna put the discs down?
No, I'm gonna wait to see how this works first. So right now it looks like it's trying to get me straightened out. There might be a few other things I have to adjust because it's doing way too much turning right now. It shouldn't be doing quite that much. I'm going not very straight. So I'm gonna have to do some more playing with it. But it is moving the steering wheel like it's supposed to, so that's one thing accomplished. Alright, so I changed my aggressiveness setting and it's doing a little bit better. I might have to turn it down a little bit more. It's having me go quite a bit straighter. There's always going to be a little bit of wander, they call it, but this is definitely better. So I just gotta fine tune a few of the settings a little bit better. But if you can see my tracks, it's much more of a straight line. Before it was real zigzaggy and stuff. So just kind of takes a little bit to get the kinks worked out of it. Okay, I turned my aggressiveness down to 75%. I started at 150, which was all the way aggressive. I put it to 100, now I put it to 75, and it seems to be about right. I'll probably turn it up to about 85 and leave it there. Okay, starting out just doing around the fence line. There always gets to be a ridge up by the fence line, so the last couple of years I've been trying to work that down, and the grass always creeps in. So I just try to work that down, get it killed off so I can get it planted, get corn to come up there, and then I can, you know, just keep that edge by the fence a little bit better maintained. Otherwise weeds get in there if crops don't grow. But it's working out pretty nicely. Well, we're getting some of these spots where the water ran. It made all these little trails and stuff, so it's just kind of rough. So I'm just lightly hitting this with the disc, getting it smoothed out. Then when I come back through here and seed and spray in the summertime, then it's not so rough to hit with the tractor. Are you tired of riding in the cab yet? Spot. Now we'll go to the next spot in the field that I want to work up a little bit. It's working down pretty nice. Even though it's making some dust, there's definitely moisture down there. I'm not going down that far. I'm just going down enough to smooth it out. Yep. It's dry. So before, when I showed where all that water was running through the trees, it all comes from way up there and funnels all the way through that field and then through my field. And then there's this ditch that my grandpa made. It goes down through there and then down through the trees, then through my yard. So just get this all nice and worked up good. Tippy top. That just about does it. Perfect. Done with disking for the night. Got that whole field done, except there's one strip around the trees. There's a ton of tree branches that fell down from all the snow that was in there. So I'll go and get those done tomorrow and then just do one more little pass. But I like to, if I can time it right, I like to fill fuel and let the tractor cool down at the same time, because you got to let it cool down about around 10 minutes. I usually try to do, just let the turbo cool down and the motor cool off before you turn it off. So I try to do that and fill fuel at the same time if I can, and accomplish two things at one time and less time to, you know, spend out in the field. You can get home at a little bit earlier time. But anyways, gonna go in for the night and we'll check back in the morning. Welcome back. This morning I'm gonna get some more disking done, but first I gotta take a cord down, get the cows some fresh water in their tank down the field, and then I gotta cut up and move some of those tree branches that were along the side of the tree line where the snow took them all down. So we'll get this done and then we'll go do some more disking. This is my pump jack. Gotta run some fresh water in here, get some of this algae out. It doesn't seem to bother the cows, but I just try to get it nice and fresh for them. We'll let this run for a couple hours and it'll overflow a little bit, but that's just fine. Got my saw here. Some of these are a little bit bigger. I'm gonna have to cut them in pieces. And I just throw them back into the woods, but there's a lot. It goes all the way from up there to down to here, and then there's more around the bend, so got a few of them to cut up. Alright, done with the manual labor part of the day, hopefully. Now time to get the tractor going, check it over first, and then we're going to go do some more disking around where I just moved the tree branches, and I got 2 more fields to do before we get going on corn. As you can see, it's a bit muddy down in these lows. It doesn't look like it on top, but underneath the soybean mat, there's definitely some moisture down there. This is where the water ran all spring. So just trying to get through it. I know it's muddy, but if you can get this top part worked up and get it scratched, then air can get to it and it can at least dry out the top so you can plant the rest. So that's what I'm trying to do here and not get stuck. I got the front wheel assist on just to help pull me through. I'm not sinking, it's just a little bit greasy on the top. But it's coming along okay. By tomorrow, you'll hardly be able to tell that this was even wet because the top couple inches will be dried out. Then you can get over it with the planter. So we'll keep working on this part. Got that field done. There is some definite soggy spots, but I worked it a little bit, worked another part, came back when it dried off a little bit, and I was able to get through it. So in 3-4 days when I get this planted, then I should be able to go through just fine and not have, mud plugging up my rows and everything. So on to the next field. I'll show you the areas I'm trying to work closer towards. It's a bit of a fine line to get close enough to where it's wet, but not too close where you actually get stuck. So the waters came out quite a ways. So I'm just trying to get right up to it as far as I can. If I can get this black, I can pretty much plant right up to the water. Last year we had some areas that I worked up and there was water standing there, and by the next day I was able to plant it and it was dry enough, and then it grew a great crop right in that area. So just trying to get as close as you can. Otherwise in summertime that'll dry down, and then the only thing that grows there is weeds, and then you have more of a weed problem. So it's just best to get everything planted that you possibly can. So I'm spinning right now. I got my front wheel assist on, but I'm not sinking. So trying to see how close I can actually get. Seagulls are having fun following me though. Whatever worms and stuff pop out, they don't waste any time on eating those things. Starting to push the trash. Alright, so that area I'll come back around to hit it at a different angle. The little bit of soybean trash that's on top of it, the disc will start to, instead of cut through it, they'll just start to push, then you get plugged up. So you just come at it from another angle and try to get that stuff worked down again. Working. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with. You can see all this water out here. Usually this is, you know, it might be a little bit of water, but it's consolidated to where that taller grass is. Usually not out this far. So we'll keep on working. So it's really strange. Some places last year that I couldn't plant because there was water sitting in them are dry this year. So I think what the deal was, we had a big rainfall last spring, and then it ended up not being able to be planted. Where this year, you know, we haven't had a big rainfall, but we had all the snow, and the snow just didn't collect in all these areas. So like this is one of them. I couldn't plant anything in here last year, but this year I'm working it just in case we get a big rain, because then if you have it black, it'll soak in a little bit better and you might be able to plant that. So just everything is a little bit different from year to year. It's not always the same. Done with this field. As you can see, there is water everywhere. If I could set up an irrigation pivot and suck all the water out of there, that'd be a-okay, but I don't think that would work very well. So I'm gonna head back home. I have all my corn ground tilled and prepped, so I can start getting that planted next week. I'm gonna go home and get a trailer set up to haul liquid fertilizer around. I was thinking of using my semi-trailer, but it's kind of bulky and just kind of cumbersome to get into different fields and different spots. So I'm actually going to use my pintle hitch trailer. It's plenty heavy duty enough to hold 1,000 gallons of fertilizer. So we'll go get that on the trailer and get that ready. And tomorrow I'll go pick up my chemical, and then I'll get the fertilizer after that, have that all ready to go. So before I go, I'll show you what a difference disking makes just for a couple hours. I did this at about 2. When I did it, it was all, you know, gummy, really muddy. On the bottom it is still muddy, but on top it's getting dry and powdery already. And then this stuff right over here I just worked, and this is all, it's all still mud, makes mud balls and stuff. But just a couple hours, that dries it out just enough so I can get over it. Even though it's still, it might still be a little bit muddy underneath, my planter can go through it. it'll put the seed where it needs to get, cover it back up, and I can get it planted. So that's the kind of difference it makes. You can see right here, this is where I worked a couple hours ago. This is where I just worked. So sun and a little bit of wind makes a big difference. And this is the rig I do it with. I really like these new duals on here. They look awesome. Not bad for a tractor with about 17,000 hours on it. All right, today we're gonna get the duals put on the 4440 so I can get ready to spray and do a little bit of planting where my alfalfa is gonna go, so a little bit more flotation. Got to put the duals on. I don't need them on that terribly long, mainly just for first pass of spraying, just for so I don't sink down if there's wet spots. During this later part of the summer, usually it's more dry, so I don't have to worry about that quite so much, but we'll get these put on. I got the bolts taken out, so just got to get the tire lined up. Got the jack under here, so I just have to raise it up a little bit just so the rim can sit right on here, make it a little bit easier on us. Alright, so the tractor needs to go up a little bit higher, but I think I'm able to get one of the bolts started and get it sitting on this lip so that when I jack it up, it'll just hold it on there. So we'll see if we can get that done. Okay, Maya, should we put this dual on? Got the whole family working on it. We got one bolt started. Vaughn's jacking hard. 7-year-old boy lifting a 16,000-pound tractor. We're making progress. Getting closer. Maybe not. Now that side's just going up. We got to reset the jack. Now the 4-year-old's doing it. Keep going. Okay, you keep going. I'll see if we're getting closer. Sarah's doing a great job of stabilizing the tire. Keep going, Mai. You're doing it. Swap out? Yeah. Oh, it fell out. Okay. Alright, keep going. You were just too strong for it, huh? Go, baby, go. A little bit more, Maya. Almost there. Did it come out again? There you go. Don't stand up, you'll hit your head on there. Okay. There you go. Keep cranking. Okay, I'll get a bolt. Alright, stop, Maya.
Not going too far.
That one's in. See if we can get one more.
Daddy, now.
Just a second.
We're gonna get all of them in first, man.
Okay, Maya, jack some more. We're not ready for the gun yet. Should I help you? Ready?
I can do it
my own. Okay, go. There we go. We're paying you by the hour. Got the whole family involved on this one. Are you still going, Maya? Oh, Sarah's gonna do some. You can go.
Mama, look how strong I am. Daddy, I can lift these tires.
Oh. Okay, Maya, that's good. All right, do that one. Okay, Maya, what do we always say? Safety. All right. And the next thing is to clean out the cab. Get all that dust and dirt that built up last year out. Because sometimes the kids sit down here and it's just nice to start with a clean cab in the spring. Alright, got the cab all cleaned out. Got the windows done, got it vacuumed. Last thing to do is the air filters. Just gotta blow those out and this thing will be all ready to go. Alright, let's see how dirty the air filter is. Alright, that's quite a bit better. Got a lot of dust out. That's 100 hours worth of dust in there. So we'll check the inner one. That should be fine. Then just blow out the radiator a little bit. Alright, everything's ready to go on this tractor. Got the oil change, filter blown out, radiator blown out, jewels on. Makes it look a little bit bigger. A little more traction, a little more rotation. But this is where we're going to end the video. And thanks for watching. If you like this, make sure to like and subscribe. And also check out my beef website. Like I mentioned in the last video, if you're interested in grass-fed beef and you're in the South Dakota area, let me know. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.